SolutionBuggy is an online platform that is exclusively dedicated to MSME, and we are connecting the MSME with the subject related experts. Hello everyone, my name is Gokul Yadav and I'm assisting Mr. Vikas Mandral, the CMO of SolutionBuggy. So today with us we have Mr. Manish Kukriya, who is an renowned thought leader on toy industries. Welcome sir. Thank you for connecting with us. Before starting, I request Mr. Manish to introduce himself.
My name is Manish Kukreja. I'm the Director and CEO at MIN TOY Pvt. Limited. Our brand is Shinsei. We make toy cars. I've been in the field for the last 27 years. The company has been in existence since 1985. That gives us about 36 years. And I'm also the president of the All India Toy Manufacturers Association for the last 5 years. 3 years prior to that, I was the secretary of Tricon. I've been in the toy industry for about since 1995, so that's about 26 years
now. Thank you for your introduction. So it is a pleasure to meet you and connect with you. So I just want to know, we just want to know about the insight of the future of toy industries and what are the challenges do we face in the toy industries, in a brief.
Yeah, okay. Being a mechanical engineer by profession, when I joined the industry, it was very challenging at the time because in 1995, if everybody recalls, the market was opening up, and there were a lot of free imports that were coming in. That said, it was perhaps the toughest time, according to my experience, to enter into the toy industry because with cheap Chinese imports coming in, the domestic manufacturing was shutting down. A small survey that I did was we had about 900 odd manufacturers registered with the association, which dwindled down to about 140, 150 odd by about 2004 or 5. So basically the manufacturing levels just came down. The reason I'm going back in the history is because it's important to know exactly what's happening going ahead. When the government started looking at promoting India as a manufacturing hub in 2014, and when that Skill India actually happened, I was doing a study on the international toy market. And if people recollect, earlier we used to get toys from Japan and Korea and maybe made in USA and UK. You go to any toy museum in the world. There's one in Turkey, there's one in Singapore. One is where one of the largest toy museums is coming up in Gujarat, in India. It's under construction. So when you go to a toy museum, you'll see toys, sourced from UK and Germany and Italy and Spain and US and Japan. And then suddenly everything just shifted to China. So I was kind of wondering, how come these industries, these countries became a very the first world countries, and now you see China the way it's progressing. Did the toy industry have a part to play in it? And surprisingly, whoever I spoke to, they said yes, the toy industry was used as a stepping stone for skill development. So it only made sense that when the government of India said that we want to do Skill India, I thought we've pitched it to the government that use the toy industry as a stepping stone, because when you're making toys, you're using a lot of small components. So there are a lot of small parts you're using, and basically when you're handling small parts and you're doing it accurately and day in and day out, the skill development automatically happens, and then that can be used into electronics, and then you can taking on to a future product. So that's the reason we are fantastic. We are number one in IT in the world, but we are not very good at manufacturing because of smaller components. So now that the focus is there in the toy industry, and I believe the government is looking at joining hands with Skill India for the toy industry as well. If it does, it will be fantastic. I believe the future for manufacturing will be tremendous, because already we have, I think, the first toy cluster at Gokul come up. It was inaugurated last Saturday by the Honorable CM of Karnataka, and attended by a lot of dignitaries. It's ACUS is doing a fantastic job there. They've really done a good job there. And we are, I mean, I have interacted with them, I've supported them, we've given them as an association. And when I say I, it's not just me, it's TITMA, because that is how I present myself. So when TITMA, as an association, when we spoke to them, we've given them all the feedback that we could, all the requirements that the toy industry requires, and we need a lot of handholding. All right, we can send a satellite to the moon, or we can send a satellite to Mars, but we don't make small DC motors that are used in toys. It's only the scaling up. It's only the scale requirement. It's there. That's what's missing. So I believe more than the toy industry needs a lot of auxiliary unit support. That is very vital, and that's exactly what I've been pitching to every state government, including the central government, that it's not just the final product. It is very important that the auxiliary unit companies are also supported. It could be like like small LED light bulbs that are used in toys, things like that. So we need a lot of support. Once that comes in, it's super, and that's what China has worked on. Not only the toy industry, but also auxiliary units. So you have to see the entire thing as an entire setup. You can't just have one thing. I give you an example. If a toy, say when Maruti made its plant in Manesar, in Haryana, it just didn't make a toy plant. They set up an entire setup unit. Okay, I need a gearbox manufacturer, and a steering manufacturer, I need a tires manufacturer, I need suspension manufacturers. They made the cars, they made the engines, everything was there. But they took the entire auxiliary support they had. That's exactly the kind of support the toy industry has.
Yeah. So it was good to meet you, sir. Actually, yeah, it was. I got to know how the skill development can happen in toy industry. And one more question, sir. Like, as a fresher, how a fresher can join in a toy industry manufacturing?
First, I'll tell you the challenges in the toy industry sector. Okay, it's the mindset. You have to accept it. All right. If you come up with a good product, it will be ripped off. Accept it. Okay, it will be ripped off. Anybody who makes any new toy, you'll have within a span of months, you'll see its replicas out, and it's the reason being because the toy industry is so insecure. It is so insecure because whenever they made something new, China came up with something better, so they always copied each other. And whatever runs, I don't have to invest something in you and R&D. So it is my suggestion is if a huge person wants to come in, first of all, get yourself your company registered, get your product registered. Don't copy something that's already there in the market. Come up with something new. Get an IPR for that. Get your idea, your product patented. Come up with the market, explain it to them, and you have. In fact, today is one of the times you have the most easiest access to markets. You go to Amazon. If you're listed on Amazon, you already have a big database of customers there. You have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Twitter. If you can make a social media campaign, and you can have followers coming in there. There are a lot of very successful guys who've done it. There are a couple of guys in Bangalore, Dice Toy Labs. They're there. So they've got funding as well. So I think it's a very promising time to get into the toy industry, but it has to be very carefully planned. That's vital. That's very vital.
Okay. So how about like how a toy sector, how toy industry can contribute to the economy of India? Like how can we increase the contribution of toy sector in increasing the GDP of India? So tell me, just throw some light on that.
Let me put it this way. The Indian toy market is estimated somewhere between 7,000 to 10,000 crores. It's more in the range of 8.5 to 9,500 crores. Okay. 20% of that is the Indian toy market, the Indian manufacturers. 80% is imported toys. Out of the 80%, 90% comes from China. So about 72% is Chinese. All right. You do the math. So if you come up with something new, there is a vacuum. People will absorb it. The market is growing. It's growing at a steady pace. If I recollect correctly, if my memory serves me right, it's growing at about between 15 to 18% is how the market is growing. I had attended a workshop somewhere where they said that India adds the population of Australia every year. That is how India's growth was happening. This is about 6-7 years ago. I don't know if the rate has fallen down or gone up, but about 7-8 years ago when I attended the webinar or that seminar, it was there. So the market is there, the children are there, people, the demand is there. I would, I think if you can take 10 or 20% share from the international market, okay, you are saving on imports that are coming in. That helps you save forex. You're already adding to the government's kitty in the forex. And surprisingly, Indians make fantastic toys. I've seen a lot of manufacturers, my competitors, my friends, my colleagues in the industry. They make some amazing products. Amazing means amazing products, and they export. People don't know it. They export, and their products are well accepted in the international market. Where I think we lack scaling up. There is a fear of the unknown. It's a area where we as Indian toy manufacturers have not ventured into, and we are scared because if you venture into it, there is a bigger person available who can get maybe we can get a bigger hit. So you're a little scared of venturing into it. But I would say look at microplastics at Gokul, ACUS. I think they got a handholding from Hasbro, and they were doing about, if I'm not mistaken, anywhere between 150 to 200 crores turnover, and that also only exports. And that's one big giant company. I think it's time that we manufacturers, just come out of the shell and say, you know what, I'm going global. So once the demand is there and people start asking for your products, you just have to start scaling up, and you have to, you have to change your mindset. I'll give you a small example. I saw this one program on an email. I got a mail. I just saw it. It was a 40 minutes program, and this gentleman said, you know what? If you want to get respect, what do? You have to give respect. When you give respect, you get respect. When you give love, you get love. Similarly, if you want to earn more money, you have to give money and you'll earn more money. All right, it's a very simple thing. So he says, you know what? Get professional. Once your company scales up to a certain extent, we see when a startup happens, 2, 3 crores, 5 crores, till 10 crores turnover, they don't have a big challenge. It goes up to that. The challenge comes after scaling from 10 to 20, and then 20 to 40, and then from 40 to 100. Because every step that you go in, the way you work has to change. The way you work can get you from A to B, but to go from B to C, the curriculum changes. It's like going to school. You're going from 1st to 10th. You have one particular board. Suddenly 11th and 12th board changes. And now if you want to give a CET exam or you want to give an IIT exam, there are 2 different ways you have to go on. It depends on how you have to do it. So the curriculum changes and you adapt to it. Similarly, after you cross a particular turnover, you have to adapt to the next one. You have to be more open. You have to be more giving, so that you can, and you have to make a teamwork. One person cannot do it alone. You see, any corporate, 100 or 200 crore size, there'll be a CEO, and then he have people whom he's appointed. Maybe he becomes a managing director, but he has a CEO who runs the company. So you have to learn to hand over the responsibility. You have to train them, and they will make mistakes. Accept it. Once they make mistakes, once you grow, the world is your market. Automatically, you will contribute to the country's GDP, to the skill development, to forex earnings and forex savings. It all depends on the mindset. You have to change your mindset. You can't go with a mindset which gives you from 1 to 10 crores. The same mindset will not work for 10 to 20. It will not. It has to change.
Yeah. So thank you for your introduction and about the toy sectors. So it was a very good meeting actually, and very new sector. Even I'm as a mechanical engineer, so I wasn't so much explored into toy sector. But yeah, the experts from you, like experts like you, I got a lot of insights about the toy sector. Thank you so much for that.
I just want to add one point, Gokul. When I was, very recently as March last year, okay, even I get to learn, and it's a sector that teaches you everything on a practically daily basis. the toy industry is so different. So how different it is, I'll ask you a question now. How many, in your opinion, whatever you know about the toy industry, what is the how many new SKUs do you think that the world market produces every year? Any idea? A ballpark figure. How many new products are introduced in the world every year, or maybe, or actually are introduced into India every year? Sorry, I'll rephrase that. Are introduced into India every year.
Okay, in a toy sector, right?
In the toys, only toy industry, yeah.
How many new products? Probably. I don't have much knowledge in the toy sector, but probably 1.5 lakhs, like that. Probably, roughly.
I was thinking about 2.5. That was my mind, but I was told about 500,000, 5 lakh new products are introduced in the country every year, and it changes with the season. Say, for example, if a movie comes out, say Avengers came out, you have a whole Avengers series coming in.
Yes.
That itself comes in a big package. So that is how the toy industry moves in. We don't. The largest retailer for the toys in the world. It'll surprise you. No, it's McDonald's.
Oh, McDonald's.
Happy Meal.
Oh, yeah.
So you see, so it's a very complicated sector. We don't realize it, and I think Kinder Joy is getting there.
Yeah, Kinder Joy. Yes.
Yes, and very surprisingly, I think a major source, they're looking at 100%, but I think right now a major, about 70-80% of the Kinder Joy toys are now sourced from India.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So that's a big plus. That's what's happening. That's what I'm saying. The future of manufacturing is really good. At least I would say the golden era of toy manufacturing has started.
Yeah.
It is not easy. Okay, you don't expect I'll come in and I'll make X amount of money and I'll rule the roost. No, the margins are very slim. But after 30 years in the toy industry, 27, 28 years in the toy industry, I'm telling you, the satisfaction you get is fantastic. When you see a child play with your toy and he holds it like this, that's my toy.
Yeah.
And chhodna nahi hai,
Yes.
And it's like wow, he likes that.
The happiness, yes.
The happiness you get. So that is there.
Yeah.
So that satisfaction is there. So yeah, the toy industry is I don't know. I love making toys. So for me, I can't say that it's there. I'm the right person in the right field. So I have no comment.
Yeah.
But it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a toy. Yeah, because even I used to play Hot Wheels, those cars actually. It brings happiness actually.
It's your memories that linked to those toys, and you have you can remember. Okay, my dad got me this toy, my mom got me this toy. My favorite toy was this when I was small.
Yeah.
I had a small brown teddy bear. When I was small, I used to hug it and sleep every night.
Yes.
So I was maybe 3 years old, 4 years old.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thank you, Gokul.